the devotee who saw Krishna everywhere long ago. Near the sacred forests of Vrindavan, there lived a humble devotee named Madhav. Madhav was not a scholar, a priest, or a wealthy man. He lived a simple life in a small hut near the Yamuna River. Every morning, he woke before sunrise, bathed in the river, and sat under a banyan tree to chant Krishna's name. Krishna, Krishna, he whispered with deep love. To many people, Madhav looked like an ordinary villager, but inside his heart lived a deep devotion that filled every moment of his life. One day, a traveler passing through Vrindavan noticed Madhav smiling at the trees. "Why are you smiling at a tree?" the traveler asked. Madhav replied gently, "Because Krishna is standing there." The traveler laughed. "Krishna's not a tree." But Madhav only smiled peacefully. Later that day, Madhav fed some grains to a group of birds. The traveler saw this and said, "You treat birds as if they are special guests." "They are," Madhav replied. "Krishna is enjoying this food through them." The traveler began to think Madhav was simply imagining things. They passed. The traveler stayed in the village and continued watching Madhav. Whenever Madhav saw the river flowing, he folded his hands in respect. When he saw cows walking peacefully, he smiled with affection. When he heard children laughing, his eyes filled with joy. To him, every moment felt like Krishna's presence. One evening, the traveler finally asked him seriously, "Madhav, do you truly believe Krishna is everywhere?" Madhav answered softly, "Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita that he exists in all living beings. When the heart is filled with love, the eyes begin to see what was always there." The traveler was curious. "Then why can't I see him?" Madhav looked at him kindly. "Because the mind looks with judgment, but devotion looks with love." The next morning, the traveler decided to follow Madhav again. As they walked through the fields, a poor farmer stumbled while carrying a heavy basket. Without hesitation, Madhav ran to help him. "Krishna must be tired carrying that weight," Madhav said while lifting the basket. The traveler was surprised. Later, they saw a thirsty dog by the road. Madhav poured water into his hand so the dog could drink. Again, Esaid. Krishna was thirsty. Slowly, the traveler began to understand something profound. Madhav did not mean that Krishna literally appeared as every tree or animal. He meant that every living being carried the divine spark of Krishna. Weeks later, the traveler prepared to leave Vrindavan. Before leaving, he bowed to Madhav. "I came searching for temples and miracles," he said, "but you showed me something greater." "What did you learn?" Madhav asked. The traveler smiled. "I learned that Krishna is not only in temples. He lives in kindness, compassion, and love." Madhav folded his hands and whispered Krishna's name once more. And as the sun rose over Vrindavan, the traveler felt something new in his heart. For the first time, he too felt Krishna's presence everywhere. Moral of the story: true devotion allows us to see the divine in every living being.